Hi, this is Esateys. Have you ever wondered why it is so scary to speak things that you really feel versus what it is that you find coming out of your mouth? Today I'm going to speak about the fear of speaking the truth, finding an authenticity within yourself. And I'm going to answer the question that was just stated. Have you ever wondered why it's so scary to speak the truth or be authentic? At the end, I'm going to give you a very powerful question that's going to help you become more aware of this. So it's going to really help you master what it is that we're talking about today. And for those of you that don't know me, my husband Raphael and I have created the Center for Self-Discovery. The work is about awareness. I have found that being completely and totally aware is a master key to finding peace and joy and happiness. Because if we don't have awareness, we don't know what it is that's up for change. So it's very powerful to self-discover, to learn about yourself. So I want to tell you a little story about this authenticity thing because it's so perfect today. In preparing to do this video, Raphael and I, we think a little differently. And for me, authenticity means just being myself. And because he is the one who does, the marketing piece and wants other people to know about this work at a high level, he has a completely different way of thinking and doing things. Sometimes we go into a little bit of discussion, if you will. Because for me, I just show up and talk. And for him, he would like for things to be a certain way. Well, in the midst of this, I was doing some introspection and smiling to myself about, okay, I want to be authentic. I want to just be myself. And then I realized that I had to figure out a way, if you will, to do that. And it meant that I had to master, if you will, and rise above what it was that was creating stress inside of me. And that kind of takes us into the story of, or the content, if you will, of what it is that we're speaking about today. It's very challenging for people to tell the truth. And another term for that is really being authentic. Why? We are frightened. We are frightened that people won't like us. Most people are afraid of confrontation. On a deep level, we have core issues that have to do with, if I speak up and you don't like it, then I'm not going to be loved. I'll be abandoned. You might say bad things about me. It'll ruin my reputation. I won't have the support that I need when I need it. There's so many things that are going on inside of us that it's an interesting thing to observe. And I invite you, because this is one of the things I would like to invite you to do to become more aware, is pay attention to when you are feeling like what comes out of your mouth is not really what you're thinking, is not really what you're feeling or thinking internally. How often does that happen in your life? And what's going on in your physiology when that occurs? Are you feeling tense? Are you feeling stressed? Most people, it's yes and some more yes. Because our body responds to the resistance of pretending that we are something that we are not. And yet we do it. We all do it to whatever degree that we do it, and we do it on a pretty regular basis. How we get there? We get there because when we're little children, we get told what is so, what is right. We take on the belief systems of our parents or the people that we're around. Because when we do that, we feel like, we're like part of the crowd. How cool is that? When we're part of the crowd and we're accepted, then acceptance turns into feeling loved and lovable. It's a core need of human beings. And yet, on so many levels, we are morphing ourselves into whatever it is that we think is supposed to be correct or is correct according to somebody's idea. And that then causes us to have a conflict. And this conflict inside causes stress. It causes health issues. It causes, and this is one of the most important things, it causes us to stuff things. And when we stuff our feelings and our truth, our authentic place that wants to speak, we get pretty angry. And that anger festers, and it grows, and it grows, and it grows. And as it grows, it's causing hormonal changes, endocrine changes. It's changing the physiology of your body. It messes up our head. The adrenaline gets really activated, and we've got all this stuff going on. So much of the time we don't even realize it, but that's what's happening. We're taking the effects of what's going on. So what do we do about it? How do we master this, if you will? Well, we know that it's scary because of all the things that I was just saying, and yet there is an absolute definitive way to move past this. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat that it will very possibly, not very possibly, it's pretty much going to challenge belief systems. It's going to challenge those things that you rely on for what I'll call painful consistency, painful comfort. We do the things we do because we are familiar with them. That familiarity, even if it doesn't feel good, has a certain level of comfort. So we do what we do because we want to feel comfortable. On the other hand, we're at the opposite end of the spectrum, feeling not so good. So that means that the first thing that must happen is, first of all, be aware. Be aware of what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Notice that little rub. Notice the little conflict. And once you have that, that's huge. The next thing that you can do is just stop. Stop and breathe. Notice if your mind is going a little bit berserk. Notice whatever else might be going on. And breathe. Focus on the breath. Breathe in through your nose. Very slowly, like to the count of 5. And focus on the breath and the energy and bring it up to the top of your head. And if you can, close your eyes and just kind of be enthralled with the breath. And after you hold it there for, like the count of 5, then exhale through your mouth even more slowly than you inhaled to the count of 5. And when you do that, what you're going to find is that your body will start to relax. In fact, I encourage you to do that 5 full cycles before anything else happens. Now, sometimes you might not be in a position where you feel like you could take the time to do that, but I'll tell you, it'll make a very, very big difference. Once you're back kind of like in your body or back into your center, then you can look at what would it take for me to speak the truth at a higher level. One of the things that you could do is say, I know that what I said was this, because this is usually kind of like after the fact. And as I'm really with this, what I realize is that this is more accurate for how I feel. What's important about this communication is there's no attack, there's no make wrong on yourself or anyone else. It doesn't need to become a battle. It's just what is. This is how I feel. That's how you feel. This is what you think. This is what I think. And allow both of you to be where you're at. And somebody may or may not agree with you. And if they don't, back to the breath. This is not about pulling them over on your side and getting them to agree with you. That's not the point of this. The point is that you start to gain the courage to speak more realistically about what it is that's going on inside of yourself. And if that's too big of a press, what about writing down what you wanted to say, but you didn't? And this is very powerful as well, because you're increasing your level of awareness. The key here is no judgment on self. Have compassion for yourself, because when you start to see these deeply ingrained ways of living your life, you're going to find that, oh my gosh, look how many years I've been doing this, or whatever the case may be. So I want to invite you to just work with this couple of things that I have given you. And I want to also ask you, if you have found value in what it is I've spoken about and what I'm going to continue to speak about, then please subscribe to this channel, because I do meditations and weekly videos with little tidbits like this that can truly open up your heart, that can truly create a state of awareness beyond anything you've ever had before. In addition to that, the self-discovery that you discover is going to help you make different decisions in your life, because the thing that I have learned is that the more I know about myself, the more I discover within myself. And I've worked with thousands of people over the years, and they've experienced the same thing. You're going to find that you feel more of your true self, your true authentic self, emerging more and more and more, until the point where you don't know how to do anything but that. And that will bring you to a whole new level, which will bring you the peace, the happiness, the joy, and the things that we really want, which is ultimately freedom from, freedom from stress. So I also do a weekly meeting where you can come and ask me any question. Ask E. And below in the description, there should be a link or maybe some more information for you that would be helpful for you to know how to connect it's free, on a weekly basis. Just come forth and you can bring up things like this anytime that you would like. And here's the power question of the day. And my request is, write down in the comments what it is that comes up for you. This is your first step in being authentic, is being willing to speak about what it is that's there. And the question is, where in your life have you been inauthentic? And how has it affected your life? Where have you been inauthentic? And how has it affected your life? I'll bet there's going to be some pretty exciting little things down below for all of us to read and learn from. So I am looking forward to you posting and connecting with you some more. And remember, if you found value in this, please subscribe. Look forward to next time.